Welcome back to Pharmacy Review. Today, we're diving into some of the most important laws and regulations that govern pharmacy practice. Understanding these laws is essential for pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, and healthcare professionals alike. Let's get started. Disclaimer: this channel provides educational content on pharmacy law, summarized by artificial intelligence. While efforts are made to ensure accuracy, information presented here may not be comprehensive or up to date with the latest legal developments. This content is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Viewers should consult a licensed attorney or qualified professional for specific guidance related to pharmacy law and regulations. The creators of this channel are not liable for any actions taken based on the information provided. Always verify details with authoritative sources such as government regulations, professional organizations, or legal experts. In this session, we will be covering the FD&C, the PPPA, HIPAA and high-tech, adulteration and misbranding, recalls and definitions and references. Section 1. Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. When it comes to pharmacy law, few regulations are more foundational than the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, FD&C Act, of 1938. This law was enacted to ensure that drugs, medical devices, and cosmetics are safe, effective, and properly labeled before reaching consumers. The Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, FD&C Act, passed in 1938, is one of the most important U.S. laws regulating pharmaceuticals, food, and cosmetics. Here's what it's all about. Established the FDA. The FD&C Act created the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, giving it authority to regulate drug safety, food purity, and cosmetics. Pre-market drug approval. Before a drug can be sold, manufacturers must prove its safety through testing and FDA review. This law was a direct response to the sulfanilamide disaster, where a toxic drug formulation led to over 100 deaths. Regulated misbranding and adulteration. The Act prevents companies from selling misbranded, false claims, incorrect labeling, or adulterated, unsafe, or contaminated drugs, ensuring consumers receive products that meet quality standards. Influenced future drug laws. It paved the way for later amendments like the Kefauver Amendment, which strengthened drug approval requirements by adding a proof of effectiveness standard. In short, the FD&C Act is the foundation of modern drug safety regulations, ensuring public health protection through strict FDA oversight. The Durham-Humphrey Amendment, passed in 1951, was a significant change to U.S. drug regulations. Here are the key points. It established the legal distinction between prescription, RX, and over-the-counter, OTC, drugs. This amendment also required specific drugs to be dispensed only with a physician's authorization, preventing improper self-medication. It also allowed pharmacists to accept oral prescriptions and refill authorizations over the phone, improving workflow and patient accessibility. It also ensured that some medications required professional supervision, addressing risks associated with complex or potent drugs. This amendment laid the foundation for modern prescription regulations and reinforced pharmacist accountability in medication dispensing. The Kefauver Amendment, passed in 1962, significantly strengthened drug regulations in the U.S. Here are the key points. Proof of safety and effectiveness. Before a drug can be marketed, manufacturers must provide scientific evidence proving both safety and effectiveness, a major shift from previous laws that only required safety testing. The amendment was largely a response to the thalidomide tragedy, where thousands of babies were born with severe birth defects due to a drug that hadn't undergone proper testing. FDA authority over drug testing gave the FDA more control over clinical trials, requiring informed patient consent and stricter oversight on new drug approvals. Eliminated patent medicines, cracked down on misleading drug advertisements, ensuring manufacturers couldn't make exaggerated claims about effectiveness without solid evidence. This amendment set the foundation for modern drug safety laws, ensuring that medications undergo rigorous testing before reaching the public. Section 2. Poison Prevention Packaging Act. The Poison Prevention Packaging Act, PPPA, passed in 1970, was designed to reduce accidental poisonings, especially in children, by requiring child-resistant packaging for certain medications and hazardous household substances. Here are the most important topics. Child-resistant packaging mandates special packaging that is difficult for children under 5 to open, but still accessible for adults. Covered substances Applies to prescription drugs, OTC medications, and other hazardous household chemicals that could be harmful if ingested. Exemptions and special requests. Some drugs are exempt, such as certain nitroglycerin tablets for heart conditions, and patients can request non-child-resistant packaging if needed. Regulatory oversight. Enforced by the Consumer Product Safety Commission, CPSC, which sets packaging standards and ensures compliance. Public safety impact. Significantly reduced accidental poisonings in children by preventing easy access to dangerous substances. Understanding PPPA is essential for pharmacists, as they must ensure compliance when dispensing medications. Some examples of substances that fall under the PPPA include prescription drugs including opioids, benzodiazepines, and other potent drugs can be fatal if ingested by children. Some prescription creams and ointments contain potent ingredients including high-strength corticosteroids, antifungals. These can cause skin irritation and systemic toxicity. OTC pain relievers including aspirin, acetaminophen, and ibuprofen. High doses can cause liver damage and stomach bleeding and can be deadly if overconsumed, especially by children. Iron-containing supplements that are often found in vitamins and prenatal supplements. Excess iron can cause organ failure in children. Mouthwash with high ethanol content poses a poisoning risk. Even small amounts can cause dizziness, vomiting, and coma. Household pesticides including antifreeze, rodent poison, and insect repellents can be fatal. Toxic chemicals can cause nerve damage and organ failure. Regulated packaging prevents accidental exposure. Household products with hidden dangers including furniture polish, bleach, and detergents can cause severe burns and respiratory issues. These are also required to have child-resistant caps. Liquid nicotine is highly dangerous for children. Even small doses can cause nausea, seizures, and death. While fluoride is beneficial for dental health, excessive ingestion can be toxic, causing nausea and neurological damage. Certain products are exempt from the Poison Prevention Packaging Act, PPPA, meaning they do not require child-resistant packaging. Here are some key examples. Nitroglycerin tablets, used for emergency heart treatment, requiring quick access. Sublingual isosorbide dinitrate, similar to nitroglycerin, used for angina relief. Certain oral corticosteroids, prednisone tablets in doses less than or equal to 105 mg per package. Erythromycin granules and tablets, granules less than or equal to 8 g and tablets less than or equal to 16 g per package. Anhydrous cholestyramine, used for cholesterol management. Potassium supplements, unit dose packaging less than or equal to 50 milliequivalent per package. Sodium fluoride, concentrations less than or equal to 110 mg per package. Mebendazole tablets, less than or equal to 600 mg per package, used for parasitic infections. Cholesterol powder, less than or equal to 5 g per package, used for cholesterol control. Pancrelipase products, enzyme supplements for digestion, typically exempt. These exemptions are based on medical necessity, accessibility, and risk level. You can find more details in the official Consumer Product Safety Commission, CPSC, guidelines. Section 3. HIPAA and High-Tech. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, passed in 1996, is a critical U.S. law designed to protect sensitive patient information. Here's a quick breakdown. Privacy Rule ensures confidentiality of protected health information, PHI, restricting access without patient consent. Security Rule regulates how electronic health records, EPHI, must be securely stored and transmitted. Health Data Protection prevents unauthorized sharing of medical records, billing info, and personal health details. HIPAA violations and penalties. Organizations can face fines and legal consequences for noncompliance. Impact on healthcare applies to hospitals, pharmacies, insurance companies, and any entity handling patient data. HIPAA ensures that patient privacy, security, and data integrity remain protected across healthcare systems. The Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health, High-Tech Act, passed in 2009, was designed to strengthen HIPAA regulations and encourage the adoption of electronic health records, EHRs, in healthcare. Here's a quick breakdown. expanded HIPAA enforcement, increased penalties for violations related to patient data security. Electronic health records, EHR, adoption, provided financial incentives for healthcare providers to implement secure digital record systems. Breach notification rule required organizations to notify patients if their protected health information, PHI, was compromised. Improved patient privacy and security, strengthened safeguards for electronic health information, EPHI. Impact on healthcare accelerated the transition from paper records to secure digital systems, improving efficiency. High-tech reinforced privacy protections, encouraged modern technology adoption, and ensured stronger patient data security in healthcare. Section 4. Adulterated versus misbranded. The difference between adulterated and misbranded drugs comes down to quality versus labeling. Adulterated drugs, these fail to meet purity, strength, or quality standards. They may be contaminated, improperly manufactured, or unsafe for consumers. Misbranded drugs, these have false, misleading, or incomplete labeling. Issues include missing warnings, incorrect dosage instructions, or deceptive claims. Think of it this way. If a drug is adulterated, the actual product is defective or unsafe. If a drug is misbranded, the labeling or packaging is inaccurate or misleading. Both violations can lead to FDA enforcement actions, ensuring drugs remain safe and correctly labeled for public use. Section 5. Recalls. There are 3 different classes of FDA recalls. A Class 1 recall is a situation in which there is a reasonable probability that the use of, or exposure to, a violative product will cause serious adverse health consequences or death. A Class 2 recall is a situation in which use of, or exposure to, a violative product may cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences, or where the probability of serious adverse health consequences is remote. And a Class 3 recall is a situation in which use of, or exposure to, a violative product is not likely to cause adverse health consequences. Class 1 is the most severe, and Class 3 is the least. Section 6. Definitions and references. There are 6 different colored book references on different pharmacy topics. The Red Book provides drug pricing information, including wholesale acquisition costs and reimbursement rates for pharmacies, essential for determining medication costs in healthcare settings. The Orange Book lists FDA-approved drugs and their therapeutic equivalence ratings, helps pharmacists and healthcare providers determine generic drug substitutions for brand-name medications. The Yellow Book, published by the CDC, it provides guidelines on required and recommended vaccinations for international travelers to prevent disease transmission. The Green Book lists FDA-approved veterinary medications, ensuring safety and effectiveness in animal health care, used by veterinarians and animal health professionals. The Pink Book offers comprehensive information on vaccine-preventable diseases, including epidemiology and immunization guidelines for public health professionals. The Purple Book provides details on FDA-approved biological products, including biosimilar and interchangeable biologics, used for conditions like autoimmune diseases and cancer. There are 4 notable chapters of the United States Pharmacopoeia relevant for pharmacists. They are USP Chapter 795. This defines standards for non-sterile compounding, ensuring proper formulation, stability, and quality of compounded medications. Important for pharmacy compounding practices. USP 797. This chapter regulates sterile compounding practices to prevent contamination in compounded medications, ensuring patient safety in intravenous and injectable preparations. And USP 800 sets guidelines for handling hazardous drugs, including protective measures for pharmacy staff to minimize exposure to carcinogenic or toxic medications. And finally, USP 825 covers information regarding radiopharmaceuticals. Thanks for watching Pharmacy Review. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all things pharmacy. Got questions or suggestions? Drop them in the comments below. Until next time, take care and keep thriving in your pharmacy journey.